Hello and welcome to Veggie Patch Ideas. Today it's all about the bush tomato, determinate variety. Now we'll show you everything you need to know to keep these little beauties alive and cropping really heavy. And so you've got this far, you've got your beautiful bush tomato and it's looking absolutely peachy, but there are things that you are doing that are absolutely minimizing your crops. We're going to go through everything today and we're going to show you how to maximize everything about this plant, and most important lesson, how not to kill your bush tomatoes. As you can see, we're surrounded by loads and loads of bush tomatoes here, there, everywhere. So we know thing or two about growing these beautiful plants, and let's cover some of the basics straight out the gate. Now these, do not prune them for a start, so let them grow on, don't get pinching out any side shoots. That's the first myth, and we just want to go all natural with these. Now when you see a plant like this, and these are in quite a large container, now these will be kept in the greenhouse until it gets very hot. They do drop their flowers at around 32 degrees, so bear that in mind. And it also helps for pollination to put them outside in hot spells as well, just so those bees can pollinate these beautiful flowers. Well, technically the bush tomato, or all tomatoes, they have female and male parts to the flower, so all they need to pollinate in theory is a good old shake, because that's what the wind will do once they're outside. It will shake the plant and the pollen will then drop. Also insects do this as well, so best case, always pop outside or give them a shake. So when it comes to potting up and keeping a bush tomato absolutely perfect, what I generally do, I fill the base full of a nice horticultural grit for a start, and that's just going to keep the moisture in. On very hot days, I'll water this 1 or 2 times so it'll keep the moisture in. And that being said, the way to check with your bush tomatoes if they need watering, well, you can feel the weight of a pot. If it's heavy, it's generally full of moisture. If you pick a lighter one up, you can stick your little finger through the gravel into the soil, and that'll tell you straight away if it's dry or not. So top up the water when needed, and that will just help these grow the actual optimum plant. We don't want these drying out totally, because all it's going to do is stress a plant, and a stressed plant doesn't perform. What you'll see is a bit of leaf curl. Now we haven't got any that are curling, maybe this one slightly, and what that means, it's a little bit dry and just needs that bit of water. What I'd like to do once a week is I give them a really good drench, and I mean I put the sprayer onto soaker mode and I soak it, I go around them all, I wait 10 minutes and I soak them again, and that will just activate those roots to bring up that nutrients. When the roots are then activated and really soaked to the bone, I like to then give them a feed of a high potassium tomato feed, and that's what that is. And I do it once a week once they started flowering, and that's just going to help them produce more lovely fruits for us. If you are seeing a bush tomato that has far too many flowers on it, a bit like this one, and no fruits, it means one of two things. You've either gone too heavy on your tomato feed, or it's in an area where it doesn't get very good pollination. So if you are worried, and everyone worries, but you don't need to be, just pop it outside, a couple of hours, that's all it'll need. And that way the insects can get in, pollinate it, job done. And then move it back into your warmer area. Things like these, the bush tomato plants, Once they start setting fruit, so this one is a good example. It started to fruit. Now, once it starts to fruit, this plant will stop growing. So it won't get any taller. It may bush out a little bit. And that's all right. That's a good thing, because it's going to put all its energy into producing all these cherry tomatoes for us. A lot of people also say you need to stake it. I am of the opinion, and it's only my opinion, they don't need staking, not at all. But if you get one that's tipping, you can just get a little cane, and you don't need to tie it, just put it in the way that the plant is tipping, and it'll just hold it up, because once this is full of cherry tomatoes, it will be heavier. So you just keep an eye on it that way, and that's the best way to do it. There is around about a 4 to 6 week window when these will start harvesting as well. So if you've sown loads of cherry tomatoes all at the same time, you're going to get a glut. Can't be avoided. So 6 weeks, you're going to be in cherry tomato heaven, and then you'll be looking at tomato sauce recipes to get rid of them, or putting them on your pizzas. So what I did, I staggered the sowings. So I did one week, waited 3 weeks, and then sown another, and then waited another 4 or 5 weeks to do another variety. Now this is a veranda red, and it can be grown in any small pot, and I'll link the tomato video to this, a general tomato video. But bush tomatoes are their own animal, and this can grow in any sort of size, and this will harvest after everything else is finished. So we'll have a fantastic summer of cherry tomatoes, and then it'll follow up with these cherry tomatoes. So that's the plan. If you are seeing your little yellow flowers falling off and they're on the floor, then you basically know it's far too hot for the plant. Take it outside and give it a breather. So when we get heat waves, take these outside. And in the UK, we've just had one, so all of my cherry tomatoes were outside in the shade on the tables, relaxing a little bit. And also it slows the growth down a little bit. So if you want to try and slow them down, so if you want half to produce fruits early and the other half not, you could put half on a table outside in the shade, slow that plant down, and focus on harvesting the hot plants. Now you'll also see something called blossom end rot, and what this will do is your little flowers, they'll start rotting out on you, and basically that's an issue with calcium and a watering issue, so inconsistent watering generally. So make sure, rule of thumb is you just keep consistent on your watering. However that may be, just be consistent with it. Anything else will just stress the plant out, and a stressed plant will not produce as much. And again, with watering, if you do have a consistent watering regime, it's going to stop things like split fruit. So we've all been there. You walk into the greenhouse or polytunnel and you see a split down your tomatoes. That basically signals that the watering regime was not consistent. Now here's a very, very big tip, and I will keep this video brief. I just want to get all the information in, and you can replay the video. And here is the absolute tip. You must, if anything, take this away. Give them a soak before you apply any tomato feed. And in the early days, I was guilty of this. Once a week, every Sunday, I would fill a watering can up and go round and add some fertilizer to my plants. What I didn't do is soak them first. So the things that are killing your plants is basically you're damaging the roots with a fertilizer if you don't give them a good soak first. So the best way to do this is to get a watering can and really soak those roots. So what I mean by that is pour it on, wait 10 minutes, and then pour it again, because a dry plant, what you'll notice is when you water it, the water will just go straight through and out the bottom. What happens here is the soil doesn't get a chance to soak up all that water, all that moisture. So water it and then water it again 10 minutes after, and then you'll have roots that are activated to take in the nutrients. At that point, then use the fertilizer. And I can't stress this enough, because that's when all the plant gets all the goodness of a fertilizer. Water first, fertilizer second. Any other questions about your bush tomatoes, please leave a comment below. I will answer everything. I don't think I've missed out. I think we've been fairly thorough. Oh yeah, don't forget to enjoy your beautiful harvest. And these, just like the strawberries in the start of the season, you'll be picking these off and enjoying them as snack, lunchbox fruits. Pick and come again, walk in, take one off. Absolutely fantastic, and it's what we all want. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.